Hi friends, myself Archana Singh. Today's video lecture I will discuss some important questions of Anglo Saxon period. Anglo Saxon period spans from 450 AD to 1066 AD. Battle of Hastings was fought between the last king of England, King Harold, and the William the Normandy, who came from Normandy, France. So Battle of Hastings was fought between Harold and William the Conqueror, in which William the Conqueror defeated King Harold, and in this way Anglo-Saxon period ended and Anglo-Norman period started. Battle of Hastings is also known as Norman Conquest. For better understanding of Anglo-Saxon period, you can check my video lecture of Anglo-Saxon period. I will give link in description box. So now let's start the questions. Very first question is, who were the original inhabitant of Britons? So here the right answer is Celts. Celts were the original inhabitants of Britain. Now who is the famous Celts king? Who is the famous Celts king? Here the right answer is King Alfred. King Alfred was famous Celts king. Next question is, poetry of Anglo-Saxon was passed down through what means? So friends, poetry of Anglo-Saxon was orally transmitted from generation to generation. Okay, so here the right answer is oral tradition. In this period, written literature was rare, and mostly the poetry of this period were orally transmitted from generation to generation. Okay, come to the next question. Anglo-Saxon were originally come from? Here the right answer is Northern Germany. Anglo-Saxon were originally come from Northern Germany. Harold, the last of the Saxon king. Harold, the last Anglo-Saxon king, was defeated in. So Harold, the king, was defeated in Battle of Hastings. We have discussed earlier that Harold the king was defeated in Battle of Hastings, which is popularly known as Norman Conquest, and he was defeated from William the Normandy, who came from France. Next question is, who contributed to English Anglo-Saxon Chronicles? And here the right answer is King Alfred. जितने भी ग्रेट राइटर्स उस समय के हुए हैं, उन्होंने किसी ने फ्रेंच में लिखा है, किसी ने लैटिन में लिखा है. King Alfred the Great was the first king who worked for the development of English language and wrote his works in English. He contributed in English Anglo-Saxon Chronicles also. Next is, who translated Bede Ecclesiastical History of English People into English? Because Bede has written this work in Latin. Okay, so it was King Alfred who translated this work into English. Next, who wrote Ecclesiastical History of English People? I have just discussed these questions, but I have taken this question that you can all remember this question because it is important. So Bede has written this work, Ecclesiastical History of English People, in Latin. Next question is, who wrote the Fates of the Epistles and Helena? Here the right answer is Cynewulf. Cynewulf was also a great writer of Anglo-Saxon period, and his work, The Fate of the Epistles and Helena. Next question is, pagan are those who? Here the right answer is do not believe in God and religion. Okay, pagan are the people who do not believe in God and religion. They believe in nature and they worship nature. Bede wrote his Ecclesiastical History of English People in which language? And here the right answer is Latin language, and later it was translated into English language by King Alfred. Next question is, which is the earliest poem in our English literature? And here we all know the right answer is Beowulf. It is considered the national epic of England, and it is the earliest poem in English literature. Next question is, which period of English literature is called the ancestors of the English race? And here the right answer is the Anglo Saxon period. Anglo Saxon period is called the ancestors of English race. Here the question is very important. Which poet is known as the Anglo Saxon Milton? Here the right answer is Cadman. Okay. Cadman is known as the Anglo Saxon Milton. Next question is, the poem of Anglo Saxon period which describes the disappointment of a lover is, and here the right answer is the Complaint of a Dover. Next question is, which is the splendid fragment of the Anglo-Saxon poetry deals with the favorite theme of battle against fearful odds? And here the right answer is the Fight at Finnsburg. Next question is, name the religious poets of the Anglo-Saxon period. And mostly all of the works of Anglo-Saxon period were religious, and the most important religious poets were Cadman and Cynewulf. Major portion of Anglo-Saxon poetry is, yes, obviously all the major portion of Anglo-Saxon poetry are religious poetries. Christ is the most important poem, and it was written by, so Christ was written by Cynewulf. Next question is, which poet of Anglo-Saxon poetry sang in series the whole story of the fate of man from the creation and the fall of the redemption and the last judgment? Here the right answer is Cadman. Cadman was called Anglo-Saxon Milton because, like Milton, he talks about creation and the fall of man, redemption and the last judgment. Next question is, the most prominent king of the Anglo-Saxon period was, and we all know the king was Alfred the Great. Who were the great pioneers of English prose? And here the right answer is Alfred and Alfric, the writers who contributed in the prose section also. The great principles reflected in the Anglo-Saxon literature were, here the right answer is option number A, love of personal freedom, religion and struggle for glory. Almost all Anglo-Saxon poetry were written on this theme. The conqueror of Normandy, France was William. Okay, William the Conqueror, who defeated King Harold in the Battle of Hastings, okay, in 1066 AD. Christianity in Britain was introduced by, and here the right answer is Romans. In Britain, Christianity was first introduced by Romans. The first Archbishop of Canterbury was, and here the right answer is obviously St. Augustine. Okay, St. Augustine was the first Archbishop of Canterbury. One of the principal functions of Anglo-Saxon poets was to recite songs and tales. Okay,